So what's really pulling the strings in our minds, is it just random impulses flying around? Or is it something deeper, something maybe we can actually get a handle on? Today on the deep dive, we're going to tackle that very question. We're looking at it through a foundational Buddhist lens.
Yeah, it's a really profound question. And what we'll explore is this intricate mechanism called Kamma. We're not talking about destiny here, not something fixed. It's more like a dynamic process, something you can actually observe, understand, and this is key, influence.
Influence here.
Exactly. By diving into these concepts, intention, that's satana, and how it connects with the mind, siddha, and our actions, we'll get right to why this perspective can, well, kind of radically redefine how you think about
The
responsibility.
responsibility shifts how?
It shifts it away from just the external results, what happens out there,
Yeah.
and more towards our inner impulses, where things actually start. It's often a surprising realization for people. And honestly, it offers a kind of shortcut to being truly well-informed about a really core part of just being human.
Okay, so our mission today is unpacking how intention is really the root of this karma. We'll look at where it comes from, how we might actually see it happening in real time, and ultimately how we can work with it, maybe even transform our experience. Get ready because this deep dive might just change how you view your everyday choices. Could offer a level of personal agency you hadn't quite considered before. All right, so to really understand how we shape our reality, we need to go right to the source material. The Buddhist tradition seems to have a very direct answer for what actually propels us, right? Our thoughts, words, deeds.
It absolutely does. The central concept, let's say the engine of our experience, is intention, idana. The Buddha himself was incredibly clear about this. He stated, intention because I declare to be Kamma. In the original Pali, that's good. No kamai, yes, katangma. Wow. Intention, it's clear to me, Kamma. That's direct. It really is. It's foundational. What it means is that any action, whether we think it's good, bad, or even neutral, it's only considered Kamma if it's led by intention. Has to have that intentionality behind it.
Okay.
And the quality of that Kamma, whether it leads to good results, bad results, neutral results, that depends entirely on the intention present right at that moment. The specific intention in that specific moment of consciousness. It's not just the action itself, but the root inside.
That statement, intention, I declare to be karma, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, incredibly direct. It feels like it totally reframes what we usually mean by personal responsibility, doesn't it? Like, does it mean the outcome is, well, less important, secondary maybe?
Yeah.
Compared to the intention? What does that imply for just, our daily choices?
That's a really crucial distinction to make. While outcomes, obviously they matter in our lives, this teaching puts the inner impulse front and center, radically so. It means let's call it our ethical landscape, isn't just judged by whether something looks good or bad on the outside. It's judged by the quality of the mind from which the action sprang.
Ah, okay, the quality of the mind.
Right. So if an action, even if it looks noble, is actually driven by greed or maybe ill will, it still plants an unwholesome seed. That's unwholesome karma. But flip that, a really simple act, say offering someone a glass of water. If you do it with pure generosity, real compassion, that cultivates wholesome karma. And it doesn't even matter if the person drank the water or not.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
it shifts our focus
Right.
away from just managing consequences like damage control
Yeah.
and towards cultivating the very source, the spring of our actions.
So it's not just what we do, but the why that truly defines the come. Okay, I get that. But if intention is so powerful, so fundamental, it can't just be appearing out of thin air, can it? There must be conditions, an internal ecosystem that brings it forth.
Exactly right. Intention, Satana, it doesn't just pop up in a vacuum. No, it's the result of a pretty intricate interplay of conditions. It's a process, a dynamic thing, not just a sudden spark. It really starts with contact, phassa. That's the moment our senses, eyes, ears, nose, whatever, meet an external object.
Contact. Simple enough.
Yeah, but it's not just the raw contact. It's how that contact immediately triggers feelings. Vedana.
Yeah.
And these are just the raw sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, or maybe just neutral. They aren't judgments yet, just feeling.
Okay, contact then feeling.
Then, often very quickly, craving or aversion can jump in. That's tana. This is that powerful pull, that almost irresistible urge to hold on to the pleasant feelings or push away the unpleasant ones.
Right, that wanting or not wanting.
And there's another layer too, often subtle but powerful, the influence of past karma. Kamako. These are like ingrained habits, tendencies, predispositions from our previous actions. They kind of color how we respond now.
So our history plays a part.
Definitely. And underpinning all of this is the mind itself, Siddha. But not like a static thing. Think of it more as the continuous stream of consciousness. It provides the canvas, the base, where intention can arise moment by moment.
Moment by moment.
Yeah. And it's important to get this. Intention is actually attached to every moment of consciousness. It's always there in some form. It's not always, a strong driving force, but it's present. Is when that intention gets a driving force, when it gets energized, often by that craving or aversion, that's when it develops into Kamma, to an action that's going to have results down the line.
That's a great way to put it, like a recipe. You've
Mhm.
got the ingredients, contact, feelings, then the chef's preferences, craving or aversion, maybe some influence from past meals, the past comment, all mixing together in the kitchen of the mind. And intention is like that moment the chef decides, okay, light the stove.
Mhm.
But if this whole process is so fundamental, the next question has to be, how do we, the observers, actually see the chef?
Mhm.
How do we watch intention happening for ourselves?
Right, and this is where the practical side of it gets really,
Yeah.
well, transformative.
Yeah.
You absolutely can observe intention in real time. A really concrete example is in Vipassana meditation, specifically, say, walking meditation, Jongorm.
Okay, walking meditation. How does that work?
Well, think about it. As you're preparing to lift your foot, you can deliberately pause for just a split second and ask yourself internally, is there an intention, like a resolve, to lift the foot before it actually moves?
Ah, that little impulse before the action?
Exactly. That very resolve, that mental nudge to start the movement that is the intention, the satana. If you can sharpen your awareness enough to catch that precise instant, to just note, intending to lift, then you're directly witnessing intention arising and ceasing. You see it pop up and then it's gone. And crucially, you start to see there's no fixed me making it happen, no little self-entity pulling the strings. It's just a phenomenon unfolding.
Just a natural process.
Yes. And the really profound realization that comes from watching this over and over, the more you witness intention like this continuously, the more you see that intention is not us. It's not some fixed you making a choice. It's just a natural, impersonal event arising and passing in the stream of consciousness. That's a huge shift in perspective. It starts to dismantle that illusion of a solid, independent self running the show.
So the big insight isn't just, oh, I can see it, but wait, it's not actually mine in the way I thought. That feels like a fundamental shift. It suggests we can become aware of these drivers instead of just being, pushed around by them. This really highlights the direct experiential part of it. It's not just philosophy, is it?
Not at all. It's about direct seeing.
Okay, building on that then, let's dig a bit deeper into our emotional reactions. Like when we feel satisfied about something or dissatisfied, what's the actual mechanism there? Is it the mind deciding I am satisfied, or do our feelings somehow choose? Or is it something else going on behind the curtains? What's the real decider in that experience of satisfaction or dissatisfaction?
Yeah, that's a subtle one. And it's where our usual idea of a decider kind of trips us up because there isn't really a conscious agent like a little CEO in the head making a choice. Be satisfied now. Instead, it's more like a chain reaction, a specific sequence of events. It starts, as we said, with contact, phassa. That leads to feelings, vedana, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral.
Okay, contact feeling.
Then from those feelings, craving, tanha, arises. This can then strengthen into clinging, upadana, which then fuels intention, satana, leading to action, kamma. It's a chain.
Right.
Now, in that sequence, the feelings, vedana, just feel. They receive the sensation. They don't judge. They don't add meaning. They just register pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. The key player here, craving, kana. That's the powerful desire. I want this pleasant feeling to stay, or get rid of this unpleasant feeling.
That's the active part.
Exactly. So, crucially, satisfaction or dissatisfaction. It's actually the result of Tamha interacting with the dana. It's the craving reacting to the feeling. It's not a decision made by some separate self. The mind itself, sita, in its pure state, just knows. It registers neutrally. It's tana, the craving, that fabricates the experience, that colors the feeling as the like or dislike, the satisfied or dissatisfied layer on top. It's the mind clinging to the pleasantness or resisting the unpleasantness that creates that state we call satisfaction or dissatisfaction.
Wow. Okay. So that insight suggests, well, it feels quite liberating, doesn't it? That our satisfaction or dissatisfaction isn't some personal verdict from me, but more like an impersonal, almost automatic result. Craving, reacting to feeling. It sort of invites you to step back a bit, maybe question how much we identify with those states when they sweep over us. It makes me think of, scrolling social media. You see something, get a little hit of pleasure, then instantly want more. and then feel vaguely dissatisfied when the next post isn't as good. That's Tanha driving that feeling, right?
That's a perfect example. It's in those everyday small moments that you can really see the mechanism at work. Just recognizing that chain contact, feeling, craving, intention, the resulting feeling, that's the very first step. The first step towards not being constantly swept away by it.
Okay, so if craving, Tanha, is the engine driving intention and then Kamma, the next logical question for anyone looking for more freedom or just more agency has to be, what actually stops it? What stops Kamma from just constantly rolling along? But thinking about really deep habits, those ingrained patterns, isn't it incredibly hard to catch Tana or Satana in that split second? What's the biggest hurdle people usually face trying to use mindfulness and wisdom here?
You really put your finger on both the core challenge and, thankfully, the core solution. Those ingrained patterns, yeah, they are powerful, no doubt. But there are specific tools in the system to halt the cycle. What stops karma from happening is this powerful pair: mindfulness, sati, and wisdom, panna. And the biggest hurdle, it's usually the sheer speed and subtlety of it all. Tana arises and latches onto a feeling so fast, creating an intention before we're even conscious of it. Often we only notice the result, the action we took or the emotion we felt way after the fact.
Right, it's already happened by then.
Exactly. So mindfulness, sati, acts like an immediate awareness, a watchful guard at the gate of the mind. Its job is to catch craving, tana, before it drags us into forming an intention and then acting. It's about being present enough to notice these subtle mental states just as they flicker into existence.
Okay, mindfulness is the guard. What about wisdom?
Wisdom, panna, is what allows us to see deeper, to see the true nature of these things. Specifically, seeing the three characteristics: impermanence, anicca, suffering or unsatisfactoriness, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. Seeing these characteristics clearly in the feelings, vedana, in the craving, tana, and even in the intention, sitana itself. When you truly see these things as just temporary, ultimately unable to provide lasting satisfaction and not belonging to any real self, then the mind naturally stops clinging to them. It lets go. And when the mind doesn't cling, karma simply doesn't arise in that moment. Ultimately, when the Noble Eightfold Path, the Arya Magga, is fully developed, this whole cycle of karma ceases entirely. That's liberation.
So it sounds like we're definitely not just doomed by our habits. There's a clear path here to real freedom. But going back to those deep patterns, catching tanha before it takes hold, that can feel almost impossible sometimes. Is there a practical way to start training that guard at the gate? To build that muscle?
That's the perfect question. And the beauty of this approach is that it absolutely starts right here, right now. It starts with being aware, Rutana, just in your everyday life. You don't need a special cushion or a retreat, though those help. It's about cultivating awareness right in the middle of your normal activities: washing dishes, walking, talking.
So how? What do you actually do?
You can start simply. Just notice feelings, Ivana, as they come and go during the day. Don't just label them good or bad. Try to feel their actual quality: pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, without immediately judging or reacting. Just observe. Then, the next critical step: try to observe craving, Tana, that little push or pull the moment it arises. Can you catch that subtle leaning towards something pleasant or away from something unpleasant before it turns into a full-blown urge or action?
Catching the leaning.
hmm And the most challenging, but also the most rewarding part: trying to discern the flicker of intention, sichana, right before a thought solidifies or a word comes out or you make a physical movement. It's like watching that mental trigger being pulled just fractions of a second before the action fires.
Like before I reach for my phone, is there an intention there?
Exactly. Before you reach for the phone, before you speak sharply, before you even form a strong opinion, can you feel the intention forming? And initially, it's not even about stopping it. It's just about seeing it. Ah, there's the intention too. If we connect this back to the big picture, the benefits build up progressively. They're profound. If you become aware, Tuna, just in that moment, karma stops right there. The chain is broken. If you manage to maintain that awareness more continuously over time, wisdom, panna, starts to arise naturally, cuts through the confusion. And if wisdom clarifies everything, if it really illuminates the true nature of experience, you're freed from suffering. And it all starts with that simple conscious noticing, that act of awareness, even if it's just for a second.
That's really empowering. It means this profound knowledge isn't just theory locked away in text. It's immediately actionable. It gives us steps we can take right now, integrating it into our lives.
Right.
Turns these abstract ideas into actual real-world tools for changing things from the inside out. And it sounds like it's not about, to the smallest intentions.
Precisely. Consistency is key.
Wow, what an incredible journey we've taken today, really. We've looked at Kamma through this lens of intention, traced where intention comes from, contact, feeling, craving. We've understood that subtle kind of decision process or lack thereof with satisfaction and dissatisfaction, and uncovered this powerful path to stopping the whole cycle, mindfulness and wisdom. It really does redefine how you might think about your own agency in the world.
It really does.
Yeah.
I think this deep dive offers a pretty robust framework for understanding not just what you do, but fundamentally why you do it. And maybe the most important part, it shows how you can consciously engage with that whole process, how you can start shaping your experience rather than just constantly reacting to it, moving from being sort of driven by impulses to actually observing and understanding them.
Yeah, observing and understanding. So, as you go about your day, maybe after listening to this, we want to leave you with this thought to just sort of ponder, explore on your own. What if you could observe your very next intention, that little spark right before it triggers an action? What if you could truly see it and, in seeing it, choose its direction? Or even just let it pass? What if you could alter the course of your karma, moment by moment, with just that single instance of awareness? Think about the implications of that for a while. What might change? We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.